Hey guys, this is Collector Dude Bully Fan 2010 here once again, and welcome back to another Christmas movie review. This time, I am going to review on the iconic sequel to the 1990 movie Home Alone, which is called Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. So this movie is directed by Chris Columbus and this movie is came out in the year 1992, and the premise of the movie the premise of the movie is about after snarky young Kevin McAllister loses track of his father at the airport. He mistakenly gets on a plane headed for New York City, while the rest of the McAllisters fly to Florida. Now alone in the Big Apple, Kevin cones his way into a room at the Plaza Hotel and begins usual antics. But when Kevin discovers that the sticky band-aids, aka the wet band-aids, are on the loose, he struggles to stop them from robbing an elderly man's toy store just before Christmas. So this movie got a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. I do not know why. This movie is really underrated. Like, really, Rotten Tomatoes? Worse than the third movie, Rotten Tomatoes? Really? And on IMDb, this film actually got a 6.9 out of 10 at IMDb, which I think it's kind of decent for another Christmas movie. But come on! Seriously, Rotten Tomatoes? A 35%? Hold on, let me check at least the audience score it's a good score, by the way. It's a really good score for the audience. It's a pretty good score for the audience score, which is a 62%, which is not bad, but come on, Rotten Tomatoes, a 35, really a low rating on one of the best Christmas sequels ever made, next to the Santa Claus 2. Now, what do I think about this movie? Well, ever since I watched this movie on Freeform back in December of 2021, since I got into the Home Alone movies back in 2021. And now what do I think of this sequel? This sequel is the same level as good as the first movie. They're both they are both a masterpiece. This movie is a little bit. This movie is funnier than the first movie. It has more comedy, more action, more traps for the sticky band-aids, aka the wet band-aids, and also some emotional scenes, which I'll get to those later in the video. Now let's talk about the plot. I think the plot actually matches a little bit different than the first movie, because right now, Kevin was actually left home alone in the first movie at his own house, but while here in the sequel, Kevin is actually in New York all by himself, exploring New York and going to the Duncan's Toys chest, by the way. Which the Duncan's Choice Test scene was a really great scene, by the way, in the movie. Which they sold all the toys in there, and then he bought I think it was like some kind of candy thing. I think it was a toy, but the Duncan's chest was a really great scene. Also, this film has some really funny scenes. All right, hold on, let me get to the plot first. Yeah, of course we got the wet band-aids, aka the sticky band-aids, but the traps get even worse for them. I'll explain it later in the movie. And then we got this character with the pigeon lady. Hold on, let me look her up. What was the pigeon's name again? Oh yeah, her name's Pigeon Lady. Nice. Her name's Pigeon Lady. Alright, so we also got the Pigeon Lady, who is actually a really great character in the movie, and is actually a great friend to Kevin. Now, we're going to get to those comedy. Oh boy, where do I begin with the comedy? Oh my god. This movie is even more hilarious than the than the first movie. Like, come on. We actually got Tim Carey as Mr. Hector, as the guy who I think he's like the guy who like no, I don't think he owns the hotel, the Plaza Hotel, but is one of like the workers who work there. Like the scene where, okay, I gotta explain this. The scene where Kevin was playing that one scene and Angels with Even More Filthier Souls, the scene where you gotta do better than that. And then the security guards are like, I love you. That scene was actually really funny. And then the guy in the TV was like shooting, and then they thought it was actually a real like gun, but it was not. It was actually just a TV. Which I thought that scene where they said, I love you, when the guy on the TV said, get down on your knees and tell me you love me. I thought that scene was extremely funny. And one of the funniest scenes in the movie as well. Now, of course, we cannot forget about the two burglars, Harry and Marv, the sticky band-aids, aka the wet band-aids. Okay, I'm gonna keep calling them sticky band-aids because that's what Marv says in the movie. There's this one scene I really like the scene in the movie where Marv gets into this girl, this lady, and then the lady slaps him. Oh, that is so funny. And then Marv is like, I think she likes me. Nah, I don't think she likes you. She literally just slapped you, bro. That scene was actually really hilarious. Okay. Now I want to talk about the traps in the movie. Oh my god. The traps in the movie are even more dangerous than the first movie. Like, there was this one scene in the movie where, okay, Kevin threw not one, not two, not three, but 4 bricks at Marv. Nah, that first brick would have killed him at first, dude. Like, that was insane. He threw 4 bricks at Marv. Oh my god, that scene was really funny. And then like I think he got like memory loss after he got hit in the head with the bricks. That is actually crazy, dude. We also got this one trap in the movie where let me think. Oh yeah, we actually got this one scene in the movie where Marv goes like in this, I think it's an attic where there's paint, right? And then the paint falls all over on him. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Okay, I'm actually gonna get to one of my favorite traps in the movie. The scene where Marv goes to like, I think it was something like electricity, and then like Kevin turned it on, and then he was like shaking and shaking that he actually turned into a skeleton, a real life human skeleton. That kind of reminded me if Home Alone was actually an animated movie, which is not, but that's pretty impressive how Marv, while shaking, he actually turned into a real human skeleton. That scene was actually so funny. He turned into a human skeleton while shaking a lot during the electricity. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. And we cannot forget again the fire inside of Harry's hat, which he dumped it on the toilet, and that thing on the toilet, I don't think it was water. That would have been like, I am not sure what could have been, because that actually exploded Uncle Rob's house bathroom. I don't think that's water, but when I first saw that scene where Kevin was putting something on the toilet, I did not know what that was. So if you guys know, please leave a comment, because that was not water that Kevin put. That wasn't water, that was something else. And of course, we have the one scene in the movie where, okay, when they say, Kevin's not here, Kevin's not here, when they pass his luggage. And then we got Fuller here who passes his luggage, thinks that it's Kevin, when it's actually an old couple. And then everyone's like, Kevin's not here. And then Kevin's mom is like, Kevin! And then she like faints, and that scene was actually pretty funny. And of course, we also got this one final scene in the movie where Harry pulls out a weapon at Kevin. Yeah, he actually pulls out a literal weapon. Like that scene was dark, man. Like, I was not expecting to see that, and that was pretty crazy. But now it was all ruined from the pigeon lady who threw, I think it was burnt pigeon, what is that called? Oh yeah, seeds at them, all over them. Then the pigeons just start like attacking them. Well, I don't think pigeons are that aggressive like that. They'll just eat like the little, they'll just eat like the little, like the food they have. I don't think pigeons are aggressive like that. No, I don't think so. But the way how the pigeons, attacked them was crazy. And of course, they ended up getting arrested again for escaping prison. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Also, we got this little heartwarming scene in the movie where, there's this one scene in the movie where Kevin's mom actually goes to a police officer, and then the police officer's like, we'll handle it. And then Kevin's mom asks, okay, do you have any children? And then the officer's like, yes, ma'am. And what would you do if one of them was missing? And then the officer said, I'd be doing the same thing as you are doing. That's actually kind of wholesome for the officer to say that to Kevin's mom. And then of course, Kevin's mom remembered that Kevin really liked Christmas trees. Yeah, and then, like he said, there's no Christmas trees in Florida. How come we can have a Christmas without a Christmas tree? And he was nearby a Christmas tree in New York, and of course, that one scene where they hug each other and then they both reunite. Yeah, that scene is really, really emotional. It's pretty emotional, and it's pretty heartwarming when they get back together. I personally like Buzz better than the first movie. Yeah, sure, he was a jerk in the first movie, but hey, at least he redeemed himself at the end of this movie. Now we got the scene at the very ending scene where they open up the gifts. And that was pretty nice of Buzz of letting Kevin open the first present, which that was pretty nice of him. Yeah, not bad, Buzz. I guess he did improve himself in the sequel. But then someone knocks on the door, and it's one of the workers of the hotel. What? Ignore that, guys. That's just a blender. Anyways, you guys, hold on, I gotta close this door. Hold on. So, like, anyways, like, the guy who works at the hotel, gives Buzz the, what was it again? Oh yeah, the total money. Oh, hold on, let me reopen the door again. Yeah, okay. He gives like the whole stuff that Kevin bought in the hotel. And then Buzz is like, Merry Christmas indeed. And then Kevin's dad yells, aka Peter yells, Kevin, you spent $167 on room service. And of course, this movie mentions the 6-7 meme only once. Oh man, the first movie started all with those two funny numbers meme. Alright, enough about that. Anyways, yeah, this film has really great, also has some good Christmas music. Like, we also got It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. The scene where Kevin explores New York and they have that one song. Wait. Oh yeah, that one scene where Kevin goes to the, I believe like a rental car for New York, and then he gets the cheese pizza, and then the song from It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas starts playing. Oh, there's also a Grinch reference where one of the workers in the hotel does the Grinch face. I thought that scene was pretty funny. And we also got it's the most wonderful time of the year where the McAllisters entered the I believe the hotel, I believe. What else song is in this movie? Oh yeah, Christmas Tree. That's actually a pretty nice song, I gotta admit. And what else does this movie have? Songs does this movie have? Let me see. Oh, All Alone on Christmas. Oh yeah, that movie's pretty. That song is actually a pretty great song as well. Oh yeah, that one scene by Tom Petty where Kevin's in the airplane and starts listening to Tom Petty's Christmas. It's Christmas All Over Again, which I like that song. I personally love that song. It's also one of my favorite Christmas songs of all time. And of course, this movie is still to this day one of my favorite Christmas sequels of all time, next to the Santa Claus 2. So overall, I would give Home Alone 2 Lost in New York a 10 out of 10. A seal of Collector Dude Bluey fans awesomeness. And this will be my second to last review for Christmas, but my next review for my final review for the Christmas season will be our Charlie Brown Christmas, which that'll be a pretty short review. Yep, that'll be a pretty short review. I bet it's gonna be like 5 or 8 minutes for that review, but yeah, that'll actually be my last Christmas review for the Christmas season, for the 2025 Christmas season. So anyways, you guys, that was my movie review on Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Tell me in the comments, what are your thoughts on this movie? Did you like this movie? Did you hate this movie? Or did you thought this movie was an underrated gem like I did? So anyways, you guys, this is Collector Dude Bluey Fan 2010 here signing off, and have a great night, and stay tuned for my final review on a Charlie Brown Christmas tomorrow. All right, goodbye.